This week, descend into the madness of the retrograde with pure chaos, magic, reminiscence, death, unleashed feelings, and you ever think about a Tower of Terror? I've been in a few. We're going to talk about a crazy Tower of Terror. This is Weekend at Effy's. Make sure you click the follow on there, download. You have to tell 2 friends this week, or there's going to be a weird elf in your closet while you sleep. He's not going to do anything other than sniff your feet at night, but you don't want to risk it. Tell a friend to listen to us. We work hard here. We work hard here, Peter. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're incredible. Full videos on our YouTube, youtube.com/ you ready for this? At Weekend at Effy's. Check it out. It's beautiful. We're going to do Mr. Beast graphics. But for now, listen to us here. It's Weekend at Effy's. He's already rubbing up on my leg. This is our second attempt here because the camera decided to die. Peter, let's be honest. This energy has been insane this week. We've talked about it a little bit. We've talked about obviously restarting the episode, but we tried to do thumbnail pictures and we broke the camera. I will say there has been some success amongst the chaos of it all. They're doing 5 weeks of construction outside of our house, and I'm just gonna let everybody know the Effy that you get to know, the Taylor that you get to know, be glad it's this one, because working in customer service as long as I did, working in real jobs as long as I did, I know how to just become a crazy Karen person about things going on that I don't want them to be going on. It doesn't really end up helping anything in the end, but they are going to have to work next to the crazy guy's house in the crop tops, yelling about moving out of their way for the handicapped dog for the next few weeks. I'm not going to make it easy. Bebop's not moving into your lap. The thing is, he'll stay there. He's comfy. Do not restart the computer, Bebop. I want to say this. You've been doing some things in the home. You've been refreshing. Cranberries actually just helped us with a little redecorating.
Yep.
It was a fat poop. And you know what, though? Everything seems to be chaotic and crazy and weird and wild, but it's in the direction of wherever it needs to go. You gotta be in the middle of the tempest to feel it all. And I want to say something you did. One of the improvements I noticed, and I texted you on the way to Target today to get more shipping materials for, the merchandise as they go out. My business, which is just sending people pictures of my face. If I tell y'all how absurd it is, you might stop doing it, is my thought. So I can't admit that, I have to walk up to Target to get different kinds of envelopes to safely send you pictures of myself doing poses, action shots. What I was saying is I texted you on the way up there, and then I ran into you walking the dogs on the way back because you were like, I can't be here in this construction noise right now. And I said, whatever you did's working. You said no take backs. And what I noticed was I was buying these fly traps because we have the chickens. And one of the things that happens is you get more flies. I spray for fly stuff. I try to clean the coop. I try to do my best. We need a cedar chip recommendation. But what I said is I hung different fly traps, and I tried them before. Nothing. They wouldn't even go in these. And I was like, all right, I guess I just got to buy these expensive ones. They work. And they're supposed to be reusable. But Peter, I don't know if you know this. Oh, you do. You live here. The smell of death is everything.
Yep.
When things die, they smell like death, okay? And when a fly dies, you're not going to smell the death unless there's all the flies and a sweet vinegar sauce out there cooking in the sun. The flies had ignored this particular type of trap. And so I put 2 of them up, nothing. And I'm going, these stupid fly traps. I tried to just get an alternate source because I was like, I'm not reusing these. They're gross. I'll get a cheaper disposable. And ever since whatever you did. If you go look out there right now, there's a whole lot of flies that were not in those fly traps yesterday.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. It's
I haven't even buried.
filled to the brim
I haven't even
today.
buried them yet.
It's filled to the brim today, and they wouldn't even go near it.
Because they're really pretty, but I am just going to bury them. I'm not going to hang them.
That's fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're dug up at some point by chickens.
Yeah, I mean,
they turn the yard over very quickly.
I don't know. These they're pretty juiced, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I could have juiced them more, but they didn't.
Don't
it's already.
It's like when I get snow cones, and you're like, I should get 4 flavors.
Yeah.
Hey, 2's okay.
Yeah.
2's great. You're not proving anything. You don't want to miss out on all the extra flavor in your snow cone, but you put 4 flavors in there, it just starts to taste like sweet tart altogether, and there's no nuance. I need to taste the blue coconut. I need to taste the candy apple, but I can't taste them all together if I add, cream nut and sour friend and the Skittle reminiscent flavor.
I don't know how I'm gonna get it under the deck though.
Yeah,
I might have to hang that one.
No, I know how we're gonna get it under the deck.
Okay.
Because here's what's funny. The complaint we have about some of the craftsmanship on certain repairable aspects have now since fallen apart down again.
Right.
And I think it's easier if because I need to rescrew that gate fence anyway. If we take the initiative to go, this thing's already loose, let's pull this thing, it's going to go right in there. Okay. Now there's roaches under there and chipmunks.
Well, I'm also thinking about where to put it in the coop, like probably underneath the poo, right?
No, above the poo.
Above the poo?
You put it in that top left corner.
Okay.
These are real conversations happening here, and that's what you get.
Do you want to help me with this after we record?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I got big plans. They're with you. We have plans together. There are plans. We've got more eggs now. The eggs are coming back.
This will hopefully help with that.
Laura's kind of through this mold.
Yeah.
But I will say, you'd think less poop because there's less chickens. R.I.P. Nicole Kidman. R.I.P. Reese Witherspoon. No, I think they just poop more in one space instead of spreading it out because they were cooping a little wider. Now they're like real tight together. So you got to get those corners. Hi, everyone. It's Weekend at Effy's. This is Crazy Energy Week, Part 1. No, this is Part 2 because Part 1 was the mini-sode. For Patreon listeners, it was chaotic as well. I start with kind of I don't know. I'm just figuring out, are you going to be my campaign manager?
Yeah.
And I think we've just got to condense things. There's things sometimes I complain about, what Brett will ask of me as a performer. Not often, but he says I talk too much. And I think sometimes I do talk too much. So when we're getting to the condensing of the message and the platform as we open up a campaign, what I'm going to say is feel free to cut me off.
Okay, yeah.
What was that guffaw that you just had there?
It's because when, and maybe this is me being sensitive, when I hear talk too much, to me it's I couldn't say the slur.
No. It's what he's saying is when you cut a promo for an audience in a room, when you
he's actually talking about talk. He's not
saying
talk too much.
You say too many words too fast in your point, and you make too many points. Could you make 3 points and say a full sentence?
I agree with that because you make really, really good points on the podcast that I have to awkwardly edit clips of.
Yeah.
Because you move on to the next thing so fast. And a lot of times you lose your own steam.
All right. And I've thought about this.
To where you'll make a great point and then you say a thing after that's just kind of like, yeah, but you had the thing before.
Right.
And that was such a conclusion.
Okay. But two thoughts there.
I know this is a Gemini thing.
Two thoughts there. Number one, if I was thinking in terms of clean clips, I would be doing a disservice to the audience, which has come to expect a complete train of consciousness.
And you shouldn't do it for the clip. But
I don't. That's the thing is like I'm never trying to give you a particular clip, and that's why I've said before too. Sometimes you're just gonna have to like pick a minute, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And listen to Weekend at Effy's,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just having that stream in the stream. You know what I mean? I don't want to think of this as like, what do you think about hot topic of the week? I do have thoughts about some hot topics this week though. And some people are not going to like part of what I'm saying. So it turns out there wasn't an underground drug ring gang that had kidnapped him. It turns out Andrade, there's a non-compete clause. So Andrade went from WWE to AEW, and then I think got in a fight with Sammy Guevara, and then tried to get fired, and then quit, and then went back to WWE, and then I guess got divorced, and then now is back at AEW, but the new contracts that TKO has, they're saying there could be a pretty high non-compete clause that he may or may not have. We don't know, but they're saying it's a year if he was fired. We don't know if he was fired. We don't know if he left. We don't know what the deal is. But you're not paid during any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So WWE is trying to enforce a non-compete when there's no payment and you were never actually an employee. You were a 1099 contractor, right? And so they're hoping he'll take it to court, and he might. I mean, we'll see what happens. We don't know who's at fault, but they bring up, hey, why isn't there a union in wrestling? Why isn't there a union? Okay, there should be. And they point at Hulk Hogan back in the day, who stopped the union. As soon as he found out about it, he went right to Vince. Vince cut it out, fired people, broke it down. Jesse Ventura was trying to get the boys together. But then I think of it and I go, okay, the one thought I have against it as a performing art is how do you include, pick who you include? And if you only include people who wrestle, I'm not even going to say full time. I'm not going to say a certain amount. I'm going to say if you only include wrestlers who wrestle once a month, it's like there's like 300. There's a lot of them that don't wrestle that much. I'm not talking about make appearances at the Comic-Con. I'm not talking about make appearance. I'm saying, and that's where you're like, how do you pick and choose who gets to be in the union? Because I'm all for everyone being in the union, but a lot of y'all got to have some matches. And is that rude?
No, there should be. I mean, it's the same with like, your SAG stuff.
Right.
Like to get full benefits, you have to.
I have to have made a certain amount of money to qualify for the health insurance. I have to make a certain, but you can still be in SAG as a small thing. I still have a vote in certain things.
Right.
I still can do things as long as my dues are up to date. But also, there's better protection under higher classes. But with that comes giving away your money too, because everybody's got to get paid.
Yeah.
And I just think that since. I think of the scene in Babylon where they go all the way down and he's eating the rat, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're closer to that in wrestling than I'd like to admit out loud. Mm-hmm. I like to profess us as a high art. I like to profess us to that point, but it's sort of like, everybody's running scams, but we're a little more like running scams behind a curtain instead of a wall, So it's like, it's very obvious when you go to certain shows where you're like, oh, this is a scam. That's okay. I got bad. The check cleared, but this is a scam. And you don't want that energy all the time, but you're also like, I get paid a good bit off just like these dumb, the like the tax refund shows, like when there's like 30 new promotions in April and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty booked in May. I'm pretty good. I don't know if those guys could join the union if they can't run more than 3 shows. Do we have questions this week from our Patreon
we have
people?
A couple. I love this Bobby bridge that's going on right now.
He's laying across both of. How do I like this? To me is,
and he's totally comfortable.
And I think he's trying to show off his weight loss. Mm-hmm. I just took a picture live on here. Look at that. Look at us. I'm just focusing on the Bobby. We're connected by a bridge of dog. Do you understand? This is incredible. Bobby, do you... They're the best of us. They're the worst of us. They're our dogs. They're dogs. R.I.P. to that carpet you lost. I'm really sorry.
No, it's all good. We're moving on.
She was rolling across those hardwoods pretty easily.
That's
in
true.
The new chair, so I don't know.
I think Lucy will probably have to make the biggest adjustment as far as that, and she'll be fine.
Yeah. Maybe just a silicone liner? Silicone floor? Or is it not aesthetic?
No, because I am enjoying how much it opened up. Because there is a thing with like balancing stuff out with this stuff.
What about like a little strip?
To where it may have, I don't know, it may have insisted upon the carpet being sacrificed just to like, because the one thing I noticed is that these hardwoods could use a little love.
How do you love a hardwood? I've got almond sticks.
We have cleaner.
Oh, do you know about almond sticks?
No.
All right, well, they're great, and they are just like made of almond paste. It's like almond oil paste, but in a lot of cases, if you working and moving furniture for a long time, what you would do is keep the almond stick on you, because if you nick a floor, if you knock a place, if you scratch a floor, if they see it, you're going to have to get it repaired. But if you just pull out the almond stick and give it a little grease up, it's like for years will look fine.
Yeah.
And you would have to really squint down to notice anything. And you only do a tiny bit and you do it just in the spot. And it's like a savior. I'll show you about the almond oil, the almond stick. It comes in like, just it looks really cool. You know how like certain products are like, this is how we've packaged it forever, and it's this weird sponge inside a piece of parchment paper in a lipstick like container that's large and it's bright red. Almond stick.
Fun.
I'll show you my almond stick after we're done recording.
Just stay on both, Bobby.
What kind of floors do you think they are?
I have no idea.
I think it's oak. It's got to be oak. We were in that beautiful Alaskan hotel. I know I asked you for questions and then I've just been cutting you off. We're in the beautiful Alaskan hotel, and in the pool jacuzzi area, full cedar ceilings.
Ooh.
And I was like, y'all should have a sauna. Y'all should have a hot room. I know you Alaskans have them, but everybody there has their own sauna.
Right.
So like a public sauna isn't necessary.
Must be nice.
Must be freaking nice.
Okay, this is from Machete Von Kill. For both of you, what one piece of music made the biggest impact on your life? No
Whoa.
pressure. Biggest impact.
I think it's this Elton John record.
Yeah.
I think it has to be. Like, if you look at everything overall, it has to be Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. We were looking through, we got the vinyl set up this week, and you said, how does it close? And I went, I didn't buy the nice one, Peter. I bought the $40 record player, and that's why I have the sound bar to hook it up to and why it's taken so long, because that speaker would have just shook the records. That's where you should have known it was probably not of the highest quality. But now we've got all the records out here. You built this beautiful record cabinet. Do you want to know how much that record cabinet costs?
How much?
$12.
Wow.
Incredible, right? You didn't even attach the legs because Lucy would have gotten to it, but it fits perfect.
Oh,
right
I
there.
attached the legs and then it didn't work, and so I detached the legs.
Yeah, so you didn't need the legs. Having these records out
I got
kind
to
of.
the jazz scat scene in Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah, before it worked?
Yeah.
All right.
But I did watch all of No Country before that while putting it together.
It's a scary haunt of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anton Chigurh.
Oh, I was talking about Naked Gun.
Oh. Last Showgirl is Pamela Anderson's year, okay? Every year's Pamela Anderson's year. Okay, so back to what you were saying.
Okay, music.
Music.
No, don't croissant.
No,
Just
don't croissant.
Stay. Keep
Lay.
doing your planks.
Please watch the YouTube so you can see this ancient struggle right now. Stay right here. When I was in Tokyo, a fan gave me both Honky Chateau, the album I believe the year before, and the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road Japanese editions, first pressings. And I didn't like put it together until I was opening up and looking through them like, oh, these are dead serious ass Japanese first print 72, 73 records. And when I look at that record, it blows my mind that like beyond, like there's t-shirts of me that are done like that, and I use the song every night. And I want to say, you know, there's a TV show that was using Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, or not Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. What's the Saturday Night's All? Yeah, it is. It's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. I was thinking about SATURDAY night. You know that one? DUDAY. You know? Okay, no. All right. Well, it's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and they use it on one of the wrestling programs, and I was like, nobody was doing Elton before I was in wrestling, and I'm not saying like they could have. There's been dandy men along the lines, but it does seem like a lot of ideas get out there through that record. The Gay Brunch, the Rainbow Theme, Wizard of Oz. I mean, he wasn't out then, but like, come on, honey. He's going down the Yellow Brick Road, honey. And for that song to be as long form and dramatic as it is, for it to be something I chose like 2 or 3, I don't know, maybe it was 4 or 5 years into my career when I finally started coming out to that song. But everything kind of shifted with going with Elton and shifting the room. Now, here's what's crazy. You want to hear something really crazy? I did a little test run on Sunday against Doris, and we'll talk more about that match in a minute. But while we're speaking on music, and before I let Peter answer, I have to bring this up. I came out to a different song Sunday. I came out to a different Elton John song Sunday, and I loved it. And I'm not saying I'm getting rid of Yellow Brick Road, but coming out to The Bitch Is Back was quicker. Like, I was done within a minute. I didn't realize how much time I had to just canoodle with the fans on the outside before I get in the ring, so that when I get in the ring, it's right to when he's saying about the bitch is back. I want to time that out to be perfect. And all it is I went, oh, I have an extra second before I need to walk out, and I have at least an extra 10 seconds to just canoodle with my people. Now I can make it all the way around the ring. Usually I have to pick a side, and then I go to one side, and then I go, oh, I have to hit my time cue. Like, I'm sure people are seeing me say, oh, shit, time cue, because I get excited. I want to go touch all the hands. Somebody early in my career said I would never give the fans high fives at all when you're coming out. They should earn the high five from you after watching the match. And I went, you must not know what it's like to have cool fans excited to see you. Are you kidding me? When I walk into a room and people are like, what's up, and want to high five me, I'm supposed to like, no, you should punish them for having desires to see you wrestle.
Weird. What an odd thought.
Well, it goes deeper than that, where I had specifically been asked by a promoter when I was told this information to go up. They said, nobody's been giving high fives to the kids over there. And they said, well, you go high five the kids. And I went, yeah. And then he told me that after, and I was just like, I didn't even explain it. I was like, you're wrong. You're incorrect. Coming out to that song felt very good. And with it being like a Sunday show, it's an afternoon. It's good. It's like there's no pressure on it, and people can like see it as like a little, what's he doing? But I think that has to be the record. What record changed your life, Peter?
You're going to be surprised at this one, probably.
Okay.
It is a Ben Folds live album.
Not Ben Folds 5?
No.
Just Ben Folds?
I think it was after he put out his first or second solo record, and it's just him, piano, on stage, no backing band.
What's the one with Judith? Judith?
Judy, I think
anyone is time and time.
Oh God!
Cause I can't take it, you can't take yourself.
You're really
give
testing
Judy my notice.
I think that's the.
Yeah, that record rules.
Okay.
What record is Give Judy My Notice on? Shout out Ben Folds. Remember when he wrote Brick?
Yeah.
She's a brick and I'm drowning slowly. Ben Folds had some choruses. The problem was he was just like, I think some people, like regular fans out in the world, would be like, I don't know, he looks too sad to go to his concerts. But then if you went, you'd be like, damn, that was sick. There's a lot of energy there. But he kind of gave the like, in all the promo and press pics.
Yeah. I
feel like the vibe of a live Ben Folds show is much crazier than what he's projecting as him.
Yeah, it's there. Like there's deep energy in that, and like you're gonna just roll your eyes when I say this.
Please.
He has a cover of Tiny Dancer that I think's the best version.
Blue Jean Baby.
It's so sad when he does it.
Yeah, but it's not sad because he doesn't have dead kids. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like Eric Clapton doing teardrops on the guitar.
That's what Brick was about.
Well, but you didn't name it. It's a brick. Or I guess the baby's not what they're referring to as a brick. No, but he sings about the kids that are alive now, and that's like fine. But like that's like Eric Clapton.
He's got a lot of divorced wives.
Does he?
Yeah, he like can't keep a marriage together. It's
but also
crazy.
like y'all keep marrying him.
Yeah,
y'all keep signing up.
I heard
it doesn't look good
about his personal life, but like I have always.
Who cares?
So I had when I was about to graduate high school, a really I don't even know how to describe it. A whirlwind love affair in Eastern Europe for a month on a missions trip. And I listened exclusively to that album.
Hell yeah. All right, so now it puts it right. Mm-hmm. Do you listen to it now?
I haven't gone back in a long time, but we've got this retrograde coming up, so I think I'm poised to do a run through on the Ben Folds. Like this format, like listening to the format and then that fun record.
Oh my God.
Has just really
I'm trying to find
back.
a good copy of Amen Ignite for the record player, because it really is what a groundbreaker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels like, what was the band that guy was in? Onomatopoeia or whatever? The third, not Antonov.
Oh, the other guy.
Not Nate Roos from Format. Some nights I shit all over the sofa.
Anathalo.
Yeah, Anathalo's crazy. That music's nuts. Walter got me on that one back in the day. Shout out Walter. He's got a sick panther tattoo eating a duck. Just got to see it. It was great. Yeah, I want to put that Yellow Brick Road on eventually, but I also now like, because I've been like hesitating on getting any records. I do want to say the Bruce Springsteen, I listened to it doing dishes and laundry. Born in the USA. I got that record because there was a death match at a show I was on, and they were using records in the death match, and I knew this. So I went and scoped those before they used them out there. And it was a lot of like bad classical and like promotional holiday stuff. But I was like, hold on, you got Barbra Streisand here, you got Kenny Rogers here, you got Bruce here. I'm not letting y'all break those over each other. That's preservationist, and that's what we have to do with physical media now. In case they take our Wi-Fi. How are we going to get this podcast out if they take our Wi-Fi? Are we going to have to go to cassettes?
Do you know about bone records?
No.
So in the Soviet Union, when records were illegal, they would make pressings of like rock albums on X-rays.
Because you could shape it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do? Just like roll up an X-ray?
There was some process that they would do, but they would make these copies, and they were known as bone records.
Bone records. Mm-hmm. That's so sick,
right?
And they had to like move underground with the bone records. And
yeah, yeah.
Be like, hold on.
Yeah, I kind of love. I don't know. Maybe I've romanticized some of that stuff a little bit. Have you ever seen The Lives of Others?
No.
I don't know. I would like to go back and watch it now. It was
what is this?
It's a foreign film, Oscar winner, about basically a like secret police watching a family, and so it's him basically peeking in on their lives and is supposed to be
right.
So and it's
supposed to be his job, but now he's kind of caught up in their world.
Channing Tatum
in Roofman
just
when he set up baby monitors,
interfering with everyone's lives,
gave her Saturday off.
Yeah, it's that.
Roofman in theaters now, a fun ride for the whole family. This movie has everything. Listen to our Patreon minisode, and you can ask me questions on here about music, and you can hear our beautiful talk through of Roofman. I thought Roofman had a lot to tell.
I thought it did too. I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
What color is the wind?
Is it clear?
Blue.
Oh, because it blows? Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Weekend at Effys.com. Ask us questions, please. Go deep into my cage match and pick a weird old match and just like pop me up into person, and I'll. It's like I can't wait for when I'm like the old guy in the home and they're like, Papa, tell us about this. And it's like, it jogs your memory. Like, I imagine that's going to feel closer to like the importance of an orgasm in my life in those moments of like, help me remember. Come here, say some things and help me remember. Y'all remember anything? Because people will come up to me and tell me stories about myself now. And I'm like, it pops me right back in. I forgot that happened. Things happen. Time is time. And you got to keep the database. They're saying our brains may have been clearing the caches for us without asking.
I believe it.
And I think that's okay. But I'm saying you guys could jot back the memory by asking questions. Weekend at Effys.com. Merch discounts, bonus episodes, early episodes, vlogs, pictures, dogs, chickens, magic.
Deep insight on the movements of the universe.
Yeah, and we're going to do our astrology podcast soon.
That I do with you.
Yeah, we do it together now. I'm on all 3 episodes of the Effy phenomenon of you joining our Patreon. Fantastic. This dog is still laying between us. What did I call him earlier? Gorp?
Gorp.
Gorb. Gorp. 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 Here's the thing, Peter. What's up with this retrograde and things like having to come to an end?
It's Scorpio.
It's the end of eras.
So you know what card Scorpio is in the
8.
tarot?
9.
No.
4. What, Peter? I don't know.
Do you know any tarot cards? Like
Knight of Hearts,
the
Club
Devil,
of Dims,
or the
Upside
Universe.
Down Man.
The Hanged Man. Yeah, you know that one.
Did I just call him Upside Down Man?
So Scorpio's the death card.
Okay.
And so death.
It's killing things.
Yes, but if you have an inherent understanding about the way the universe works, which we all do, is that you understand that death is not the end of things, that life blooms out of death. And so it's Scorpio oftentimes has these endings and new beginnings that start to come up. And we've got a lot of planets rolling through. Like we hit a Scorpio-ish season a little early, just because Mars rolled in there and kind of dominated the skies on that. So Mercury dipped in there too, which is why everyone's being nasty to each other.
Damn.
Yeah. But the other thing that I'm seeing is that we're starting, as soon as Mercury jumped in there, we've just started hitting all these retrograde themes, like those texts leaking.
Oh, yeah.
That is very on the nose for like, these were private conversations they did not want anyone to see.
Okay, but are you kidding? These are just young children in their mid-30s
right.
with defined careers and educations through the system and have been around for decades. It's just from the mouths of babes, you know? Are you going to take a kid, like a baby, seriously? Basically just born. Yeah, no, there's a lot of Nazis.
Yeah, and we haven't even hit shadow period yet, so I expect this one to be pretty loud.
Well, I'm having fun in it so far, but it is very like unexpected, wild. But it's things I should have seen coming too.
The guys outside, that lines up like right on with all of that.
They got to get the hell out of my life. Okay, I'm
but
trying.
Also, Scorpio is like plumbing.
Yeah.
And like waterworks, then that's what they're doing.
They said we're doing construction outside your house for 5 weeks, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2, to increase water pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I'm watching them just spray water down the street while they do the repairs. And I'm just thinking about glaciers. I'm thinking about the ocean rising. And I'm thinking about, and there's going to be more water pressure. We're just tumbling ourselves forward. We're tumbling it in. And I'm going, we don't have to do this, guys. Turn in your vests. Turn those vests in. Turn in those hard hats. It's time for a general strike. Okay? And if that lines up with me personally benefiting because y'all aren't doing this construction outside my house, then we have to rise up. We have to rise up, and I support you. Get rid of this job. Get off of this job. You don't want this. Why are you even out here? One guy was just like on a stool, but like, you know how like a 4-year-old would sit in a plane seat with its arms wrapped around its legs and its head down like that. And I was like, are you on trank? Like, what's going on here? And it just seems like if they rise up and we finally tell these people, no, we deserve to do better than this, then they'll stop doing that construction outside my house. And I'll be able to sleep in and hear my chickens if they need me. And it's not just for a selfish reason, but it does work out really well for us if they quit their job or go on a strike. Are they even paying y'all? They are, because they're City of Atlanta employees. So they're definitely getting paid. But then you go to the airport. Atlanta, by the way, refuses to show the Kristi Noem video that violates the Hatch Act. They refuse. They said, we're not showing that. And people are like, hell yeah, fight back. But here's the thing. They're still showing a video of her talking about, I hope you have a real ID to prove who you are. And she stares at you. She stares. This weekend we lost the What the Fuck podcast. No one died, but it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really been trying, and I get real motivated right here to bring back not long form, but short form interviews at these shows using my audio memos. And I have thus far failed spectacularly. And I have to have a better system for this. So maybe if I just put it in here, I'll hold myself accountable. Now that the What the Fuck podcast with Mark Maron is gone, that's fine. Final episode with Barack Obama. Just brought him back. That's greedy to me, actually. You were already on the show. What are you promoting? You got a project, or is it just so you can go?
He's got another list.
Hey, you know what? They're not going to trick me into allowing third terms. FDR, he got everybody with the polio. They were like, oh, poor guy. Let him do it again. He's doing great. Yeah, too bad.
I think there were some other things going on around that time that may.
Was it a great war? Or what?
No, it was just a good
one. It was a Dust Bowl?
It was just a good war.
Nah, it was a mid-war. You want to talk about a cool war? Let's go way, way back before you could use guns like a freaking loser. if you were a veteran of a foreign war before guns were invented, okay, we're talking.
That's impressive.
We're talking.
That's hard not to get hit by a sword or
Yeah,
an arrow.
you gotta look at you gotta look a man in the eyes if you're gonna kill him with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go even further back when we're just rocking each other in the face. You know, maybe even there's still what were they called that were Neanderthals? Maybe there's still even Neanderthals. You know, somebody had to kill them. That's how this works.
Yeah, we did.
It's horrible.
That's what
but
they say.
At least that war was honest. Now, oh, you're gonna shoot metal at me at a high velocity?
But what if they're under the sea?
The sword people?
The Neanderthals.
Well, I do think there was a split in evolution where there is an aquatic version
and
of
we
ourselves.
killed them.
Yeah, because
And then maybe some folks went under the ocean. Under the sea.
Who was the Ariel? She was the Little Mermaid. I think that's sort of like they're preparing us. They've been preparing us. They've been under the
Since
sea
the 90s?
with their great. Listen, the UAPs rising, drones rising, underwater Google Earth blurs rising. If she's down there, and we're not fully prepared for what their nation looks like, it's taken generations of preparation. Do you see what I'm saying? Generations of preparation.
You're telling me Hans Christian Andersen is writing alien propaganda?
Yes. Think of it this way. If your great-great-grandmother tells your great-grandmother, who tells your mother, who tells her daughter, who tells you about this, and you've seen it throughout time in different media forms, then it's not a surprise when they're like, hey, you know what? You thought it was aliens. It's actually, it was us. It was the mer creatures that you fear. We have the same technologies as you. We have YouTube, but it's an underwater YouTube. We have plasma TVs.
I think you said U2, like they had their own version of Bono, like underwater.
Oh,
Bono.
no, they do. And I'll tell you what, he has been vocal in his support for the underwater nation that is on stolen land, and we can't tolerate that. No matter how many songs he forces onto our iPhone, they have their own version of everything down there. It's just kind of like
underwater iPhone.
And all you losers who think flat Earth, hollow Earth, get out of here. We're talking about Earth 2 is ocean Earth, and we better learn to swim. Okay? They said, am I ever going to go on the cruise ship? No freaking wait. No way until before they reveal themselves, because they're going to come up and we're going to have to be under their leadership until we can figure out how to get back to the surface. Because imagine if she still had the mermaid legs and didn't become a woman. How would she walk on the beach? Like a seal. So if we can get back to land, they can't chase us once we're up here, but they do probably have spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought about this that much.
Yeah.
But I think instead of it being separate things, I think it's pretty obvious that it's one thing.
Right.
What I'm talking about is we should be interviewing wrestlers now. Colt Cabana used to do it. Long form conversations, much like Marin on Art of Wrestling. Colt Cabana's busy now. He's a dad. He's on TV. He's a TV star. And I just I've been around these people. I can tell you of our tales and conversations, but it is like a lot to be like, hey, like, let's sit down and do this where there's good audio. They've started checking the mic. Now they're checking the ring. But it's like, it seems like with the proximity, maybe we should just escape and find a quiet place.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do it. The people need to hear. It would definitely be on the Patreon, because do you know how much we give these people for free?
Yeah.
You know how much we give to our listeners out here for free? And it's fantastic. Okay. What other podcast are you going to get contract talk about Andrade and the true nature of the underwater drones that keep appearing? This one. Only this one. All right. We can't stop. Mark Maron went for 16 years. We've gone for what, 4?
Yeah.
Time to catch up. Time to keep going. Time to start thinking, in terms of what the next decade looks like, not what the next week looks like. We're trapped now. You're in it. If I die, you better get a marionette hook on this thing. I'm pretty sure with as many episodes as we have.
Go from weekend at Effy's to weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, if you're seeing this, I'm already gone. I've given Petár full permission to insert me into the Soraverse. Now, episodes come out every single day. He's just crawled over to me now because they're all made up using our old footage. Actually, don't do that, Peter. I'm taking it back. Do not upload us into Sora to create new versions of us.
Sora only exists to make Sam Altman a celebrity.
Somebody said, "Ooh, yeah, it did." I listened to a whole thing about that and how like
Mhm.
he forcibly wants himself included in every one of the videos and in different. He's like, "Yeah, no, like do it, like make me look like a fucking goof. It's great."
They were talking about it on TrueAnon, where they're like, "Yeah, like I've been able to get stuff that kind of because it's social media that's all AI generated content,
Right, and then you can remix the AI generated content. But here's what I had the
but
complete.
everything is close, but like still in uncanny valley territory. And anytime you do anything with Sam Altman, it's perfect to where it looks like they specifically trained it on him.
All right, let me give you a
Because
scenario.
no one, like, if you just person on the street ask him who Sam Altman is, no fucking idea.
I just want to say it's gonna get good enough. So let's go into the situation where we can't tell the difference, right? A lot of people were showing Stephen Hawking in a wrestling match, or like Obama or something in a wrestling match, or like whatever. Like it looked very much like a Monday Night Raw because there's the same footage. Like we've complained before about wrestling's been shot the same way for 50 years. So you have 50 years of footage they could plug into there to make wrestling matches. And they're like, oh, well, it's over for wrestling because now you can just make anything instantly. To which I thought, you're out of your mind. Now, seeing actual wrestling in person is going to be the only way to watch what's real anymore.
Yeah.
If they get it to perfection where it's like, yeah, I'm seeing this slop all the time. I can see anything I want all the time. To be seated in a room where you can see actual physical meat people beating each other in front of you, it's the only thing you can actually confirm is real. Everything through the lens of that phone could possibly be generated. And so having events where you have to be there in person and making those events once again affordable for people coming in, I think is going to be pushed even further because like people are already sick of this saccharine shit. It's, oh yeah, you can make Shaggy and Scooby in the X-Files full episodes in 1 minute. Cool. You freaking loser. Watch something that people had to make.
It's just gonna turn into remixed member berries to where it's just because it only runs off of things that have existed before, and there's no ingenuity to any of that. You're just remixing. It's just Sprite remix over and over and over and over again.
Eventually people are going to figure out that it's just jerking off versus living in the real world. And people are going to want to fuck eventually.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep sitting in this weird little self-contained confirmation bias fantasy of the same slop over and over. Or, like, this is why I've really tried to work on my Instagram reel changing, which shout out, my Instagram's back now. Cameras weren't working. Instagram was gone because I showed my butt cheeks, which, okay, I can't even show my butt cheeks on Instagram. Guess what? You want to see my butt cheeks? You got to come see me in person. Sorry, you want me to pull the trunks down with my pantyhose hanging out and kick a man in the face and DDT him with my legs, with my ass out, jumping through the air? Yeah, I'm sure you could make that on Sora. Blocked butt cheeks. Oh, I'm sure you could see that on Instagram. Blocked butt cheeks. Guess what? I'm there in person. And then you can give me a sweaty hug afterwards, and I will give you a memento? Get out of here. That must be very expensive. It's the most affordable thing you've done this week. I've accidentally spent $38 at Jimmy John's. Okay? Getting all the sandwiches and cookies and chips I wanted. And you could spend that and we would have a moment. A big moment. How about that, Peter?
I love it.
So also, I don't have any confirmation of this, but we went this weekend back to a place we've talked about, maybe one of the places we've talked about the most, which is the Showboat in Atlantic City. And I had no confirmation. I don't know anything. I wasn't told anything, but it didn't feel like I would be in the Showboat very much after this. Was the vibe this weekend gave me. And first, you know, I got into Philly very late. I got a hotel room and I shared it with the other Atlanta wrestler there, Mr. Danger. I guess Teriyaki was there too, but he wasn't in the room. So I get to Atlantic City at like 3:30. I was driven there by the wonderful Rulo, who we did a stream of his matches on the Twitch. Just shout out Twitch. 3:30 a.m. I go to the bed there. The next night, though, well, I got to say, we were kicked out of the rooms by the Showboat. They were not working with us on things, and they were not allowing us to get any. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to disparage a lot of the details of this. It doesn't matter. I ended up the second night in an Airbnb with a lot of us. and I loved it because it was not in a casino. I was not going in between, loud go-karts, and I didn't have to walk 100 meters through every fan. Love you all, but like when it's 1 a.m. and I'm leaving the show, it can be a lot. And we had left and gone right out the back door and gone to this Airbnb, and through the window of the bedroom, you could just see the showboat. And I was like, it feels like we may not be back at the showboat. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't have any confirmation. I haven't talked to anybody, but it felt very much like, okay, you've left this building. The wind was crazy. I thought I wasn't going to get out of Philly because we had the nor'easter. They're like, there's a nor'easter coming. And they were like, they're closing down the roads. So we ended up there. Hey, we'll just stay Sunday night and go back, really early to get to the Philly airport. Hopefully it's gone by then. I said, it'll be gone by then. But we couldn't even go back to Philly that night. We were kind of trapped staring at the showboat with the winds going crazy in Atlantic City in this Airbnb, which every time I've ever been to the showboat, it has been staying in the showboat.
Right.
And then performing in the showboat. And so to end these performances and then go out of the space, and when I'm laying down to go to bed, I look up and it's like, there they are, right there. There's the showboat. I don't know. There was a part of Atlantic City I don't usually see. I went on a walk to go get, drinks and supplies, and I never walked that far into Atlantic City. And then walking to the, Airbnb, and it's 60-mile-an-hour winds or something. We're like almost falling over with our bags. I don't know. It was like really a bizarre energy that I've never had. And they were like, did you even go look at the sea? And I was like, no. Like, you should. It's crazy. And I went, I can't. I haven't even been that far into the hotel the whole weekend. And I now can't decide to, like, in the storm, go look at it in that moment. It was like I had to keep, I don't know. It was bizarre. Saturday, I was in a, there will be a longer story to tell one day of this Juggalo death cage match. But I want to say I saw some people ask, it was the first time I've been pinned since January. My belt was not on the line in this match. And GCW still won the match with the Ultraviolet champion, Matt Tremont, entering first and then also exiting last from the match. He's incredible. I told him, I said, listen, I'll be your Intercontinental champion for this one. And I came in. You ready for it, Peter? Here's this type of match. It's a order of entry. So we have to send someone, they send someone. They get someone, we get someone. They get someone till everyone's in, and then there can be eliminations. I was the last one in there. And then I got eliminated by being punched in the face with a man's hand, Too Tough Tony, that was lit on fire with grain alcohol. But I didn't go through a glass table. Shout out all the warriors that were in that match. I felt comfortable with what I did and comfortable in my position. Literally, while we were recording the mini episode for Patreon, the cinema episode, you can see right here, I pulled a piece of glass out of my back. I've showered a lot since then. I've done a lot since then. I've gone to the gym since then, and this has just been in my back. Yep, little piece of glass. And so if I don't want to do more than that, please don't blame me. I have a lot of things coming up. I'll be in Spokane, Washington this weekend. I'll be in Alpharetta, Georgia next Friday. And then I'll be at the Fest next Sunday. I'll probably be at the Fest Saturday. I might just go. We'll see. We're going to see what goes on. But I will be at the show Sunday for sure. And Atlantic City, that death match was, y'all got your money's worth. I watched people fall through panes of glass from the roof. I watched people go through. There was one contraption. There was a scaffold, and then on the side of the scaffold was piece of giant board of wood, pane of glass, layer of tubes, giant board of wood, and I watched grown men fall through this thing. I watched a man lift up scaffolding to push Drew Parker off the side of the scaffolding into a pane of glass on top of barbed wire. And then I'm in the ring, and he just bounced in the air and went back down. And so, yes, the fact that I did not get more injured or more involved or whatever it may be, congrats, Team GCW, we did it. But, yeah, girl, that was a mess. When I got in the ring, there was already like 7 inches of glass under me. And I was like, okay, let's take a chill pill. I got hit in the head with a trash can the wrong way. That's enough. You know what I mean? Sunday when I used my new theme song though, so before the match, Doris stayed at the B&B too, and we had a title match that day. And I have video of it that will be on the Patreon. We got sandwiches from, I don't want to say the name because I'm about to say something that sounds sketchy, but I want you to know I would still eat there. I guess it doesn't matter. Tony Baloney's sandwiches, which are these massive Italian subs. Mine had like meatballs. They got like a chicken cutlet parmesan. And we're eating our sandwiches before the match. We're like carb loading. We're getting ready. And he goes, mate, there's plastic in this. And I was like, what? And yeah, they left a little bit of plastic in there, okay? Like there was a little bit of plastic in the sandwich. But to that I say, it's America, bro. We don't have an education department. We don't have an FDA. We don't have vaccines. A little bit of plastic's what you're worried about? And I go, wasn't the sandwich good though? And he goes, besides the plastic, it was delicious. And I was like, so let it go. Oh, at least you found the plastic. Would you rather have eaten it and not noticed it? Because it wasn't like, it was pretty small pieces of plastic in this big sandwich. Things, the standard's going a little down here. And when your British friends are in the country and you're like, British food, ugh, British food. And then they find large chunks of plastic in their sandwich that they're just scarfing down because it's like 2 and we haven't eaten yet. You feel a little self-conscious.
Has the lead in the protein shakes hitting the wrestling community yet?
Oh, yeah, we're down bad. And we kind of are like, well, we're kind of far in now to stop. You gotta think, though, when you're drinking protein water that looks like clear Gatorade and having as many protein bars that can't taste like sand, yeah, like you need a little iron for flavor. Like iron shavings, like put some, just like scrape. It looks cool too when you make iron shavings because it sparks. And like, if my body's powered by sparks, how could I not be the fastest? How could I not be the strongest? Here's what I think, Peter. I think the human body is more durable than anyone will give it credit for, okay? I think a lot of us, you could point to certain things and say, oh, they drank too much Bud Light. That's why they got liver cancer. And they can point it out. And then sometimes there are people who are more prone to getting diseases or having problems. And we're not helping it by allowing this much into the system. We shouldn't be ingesting microplastics. I'm probably got popcorns in my lungs. Some cancers are probably caused by the foods we eat or overproduce things. But what I'm going to say is the human body is extremely durable. And I do think we have a level of asbestos and lead and plastic, microplastic, iron, probably an over assertion of like cyanide in there. You can eat a little cyanide, like a tiny little bit, but you don't want to have too much cyanide. We're durable, and yes, there will be effects. Like, have you talked to anybody over the age of 70? The lead paint ate their ass up. All the way. And here's the problem. You're going, but they're in charge of our country. I know. So just pray the lead keeps eating. Okay? They were breathing the asbestos. They were eating the lead paint. They were rubbing those toys. The soaps they were using back then, pretty sure it was just like pure ivermectin. They've just been addicted to it doesn't matter. The deal where we're at now is we're all a little full of stuff we're not supposed to have. And yeah, I've had a lot of the products that have lead in them of protein. What are you doing? You just came out of there looking guilty as hell, dude. And guess what? Our dogs, they're probably poisoned too by all these things. It's like when we were in the house with the black mold and we were like, why do we always feel weird and like there's haunted children
Why
here?
do the dogs look sad all the time?
Why did we give our dogs depression? Because we didn't know better that the mold was eating them up. That's why that Good Boy movie hit even bigger, because I was like, oh no, the dog knows it's being poisoned and it's causing, like, it's very... Oh no, we're being poisoned, but guess what? You are still strong, you are valuable, and you are smart for now. Write it down, okay? Get a CO2 detector. I did. We didn't have any CO2 in there, but I knew something was fucking us up. Wasn't CO2, it was mold. Remember when I bought mold checkers, but then I didn't check for the mold because I was like, I don't really want to know. What am I going to do? Like, what am I supposed to do if it is? They're going to make me move out? Let's just let this lease end. Get out of here. I don't want to know. You remember when I mold scrubbed the top of the ceiling, all that mold off, and then within about 2 days, it was back?
Mm-hmm.
All right. we are Americans and they're not looking out for us anymore, and we can do our best to look out for ourselves. But guess what? There might be some stuff out there that you're consuming that isn't good for you. Don't think about it, and don't think it makes you less, and we're all dealing with the same thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to miss Atlantic City. Maybe we'll still go to Atlantic City. One of the times we weren't allowed to use one of the rooms we were supposed to be in, one of the War Games matches last year specifically, because the showboat got paid so much money by a pool table company to have a pool table showroom in there. And he was like, and they were like, there's 6 people here for the pool table convention. And he was like, yeah, but they paid a lot of money to sit in this room. So we did it outside, and it ended up being very cool anyway. But it's like, you know what? We've had a lot of times and memories there. Maybe I can finally settle on how much I've seen at the showboat. Y'all just wait until the time you hear the story about when I hit a half tab during Minoru Suzuki and Joey Janela. I'm just going to say it right here. I don't care. Y'all will one day hear the tale. Many tales. And if I only told you the stories from my career from the showboat, hotel, and casino, it would fill longer amounts of books than freaking Lord of the Ring plus, what's the other one with all the rules in it?
The Bible?
No. It's Lord of the Rings based.
Oh.
I've got to call it the Silmarillion. You combine the Silmarillion with all them Lord of the Rings books, and let me tell you something. The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings, and the Silmarillion, I got more showboat stories than that. Okay? We've seen it all there. Through COVID, through its rebirth as a children's amusement park. That also, like, if you're looking for the blood tournament, it's back that way. But the kids' amusement park, water park, and go-karts, Labubu's, they have Labubu vending machines now. Yeah, how about that? It's a moment that, you know, this was the first year we didn't have New Year's there. We just didn't want, you don't want to price people completely out. They weren't cheap rooms, and, you know, it was the first year where I felt like I wasn't starting the year from a curse. You know, when you start every year that you're starting inside of a casino that can't sell liquor or be a casino, I guess they can sell liquor now, but it can't be a casino in Atlantic City. You're kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. And so to be freed of that and kind of look towards the future, hey, we might be back there in a few weeks. I don't know. We might be back there in a year. I don't know. They may come to a new agreement, but also we're doing fine. GCW especially doing great. We're all over the place. We're in magical moments, and I'm very excited to see what's next. And I won't be seeing anybody from GCW until 2 weeks from now when we return to Connecticut in Hartford, and then debut, and I got my dates mixed up. We debut in Maine on Saturday, where I will be fighting Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express for the World Heavyweight Championship of the Game Changer Wrestling promotion. And then Sunday, we will be debuting in Vermont. Vermont, Peter. You know what there is in Vermont? Never been, don't know. No idea. What do you think there is?
Cows.
I hope there's cows. I hope there's sheep. I heard there's syrup. Where's the Burt's Bees from? Hey Siri, is Burt's Bees from Vermont? They're saying it's born and raised in Vermont. Nope, that's Bird's Eye Bee and poultry. Oh, they have poultry in Vermont. Okay, we don't know anything about Burt's Bees, but we don't know anything about Vermont. I'm coming to find out. If you're a Vermont listener, give us a little hooty hoo, because I want to hear from you about what I should look for in Vermont. I want the suggestions. I always see ring announcer of the world, Emil J, posting before we go to places like, let me know the food spots, let me know what I need to see. You know, we got to do some exploring in Alaska that I didn't even talk about. I want to bring this up because there's a whole area in the downtown of Anchorage with like a bunch of stores, and they have like very Alaska-y themed stuff. And we went to a few of the stores, and by the time we got to the third store, I think it was like, you know, there's a few of us there that they would recognize, me and Jordan and Alec and maybe Marcus. And they came up to us, someone who was working there. And I thought, oh, we look sketchy, like we've been like pocketing stuff, which we weren't. We just like, we kind of are aware we look sketchy sometimes in certain situations. And he was like, hey, sorry to bother y'all. Can we get a picture we were at the show last night, big fans. And I was like, of course. So we take a group picture around a giant bear that's in the store, and we, dab up. Thanks for coming to Alaska, whatever. And it turns out, I think this guy had also been to a WrestleMania week event, like in Philly or somewhere. And then we go up to another store, and there's two people that were at the show last night. They're all like, oh, good to see you. What's up? This is crazy. We want to go out in the public. We want to see the places. We want to run into fans in public. Do you know how cool that is? Sorry to bother you. Hey, let me be completely honest. That's so freaking cool that I can walk around a place I've never been and be like, yo, what's up? But also being in a place I've never been, I don't want to go to the lame spots. I got one day in town. Was sold Every Time I Die, one night in town. Last night in town, one night in town. Only night in town. And we want to go to the cool places. Maine? I've been to Maine, the state. I've never been to Vermont, the state. Like, I've never stepped foot. I've been to Maine. You know what I remember about Maine? Driving in the middle of the night to get to Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, if you will, and our windshields were covered in the largest mayfly kind of bugs, hundreds, thousands of them, because it was like, this must have been in the middle of summer, June or July, I would imagine, and just the car was coated in these giant bugs, and there was a huge car wreck down the street from one of the little stores we stopped at in Maine. We said, you know what's going on down there? Like, trying to figure out if traffic's blocked, and they said, you don't need to worry about the goings on in this town. And I respect that about Maine. I don't need to know the goings on of what's going on in this town. I just wanted to know, like, what can we get through, you think? But that response, I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm a visitor in these lands, and I hope to kind of get to feel that spirit again, because I had also the best biscuits with jelly. Not the best biscuits and gravy. That was actually in Anchorage, and, like, the South is doing good enough that I'll stay, but knowing that those biscuits are there, you're kind of like, I could be a forager or whatever it would take, a wilderness guide, just to get those biscuits and gravy every once in a while. Maine had some really good, it was like a huckleberry jam on some biscuits, and they were very warm and delicious. I want to know where to go. Tell me where to go. I'm debuting there. I'm very excited. And I'm excited to go back to venues I've been to. But we'll see what the future holds for Effy and the Showboat, because it is a place that shouldn't have existed for us to begin with. That was a casino out of luck, bought up by someone who happened to love weird deathmatch pro wrestling. And we created a lot of wild moments there, but I will never pass the mini golf course in the carousel room without thinking of how many times I've bled in that place on the floor. While people are doing the Pac-Man hole, getting the ball in the Pac-Man hole. It's a time of reminiscence, you know?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have a podcast without Mark Maron. I probably wouldn't have as many wrestling memories without the Showboat. I probably wouldn't be as over as I am without some of my performances in the Showboat. And, we're going to be in this Scorpio weird retrograde place as long as we feel. Bobby's just going to be a weird little dude. And we're going to continue providing you with one of the most unique podcasts out there. Sorry to say. It's the facts. It's the facts. There's not a more unique podcast out there right now. I've been on tour for 5 years and coming home every week and putting in the report of how weird this shit is. Not on tour with a band, on tour as a professional wrestler without any guarantees or safety, just traveling the world performing my dance. I've been on the longest campaign of anyone without any election in sight. I've just been visiting our country and building grassroots support and finding weird stuff and experiencing everything your towns have to offer. Like when the Uber driver said, that's not a good part of town. I've said this 100 times on here. That's my job. I go to what's not a good part of town and I put on a damn show. You think it's not a good part of town. I've never been to a bad part of town. Have you?
No.
Yeah. There's towns everywhere. I love it. I'm done.